Well. El Clasico is upon us yet again. And will Barcelona return from their heart-crushing defeat at Milan to win this game? And this is basically all Barcelona needs to do. We need to win this game and manage to get through to win La Liga. El Clasico's back, baby, and it is probably the most important one of the season because this is for La Liga. This is for the double. This is for the season. Barcelona against Real Madrid. Two rivals, two cities. Let's get some football going. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to E8 Football. I'm your boy Ethan, and today we're going to review Barcelona against Real Madrid, El Clásico para la Liga. Now, this is going to be the most important match of the season for Barcelona. Before, I would have said it wouldn't have been the most important one if we had made it to the Champions League final, but we lost to Inter Milan in a heartbreaking defeat, and we need to recover from that to do well in this match. And to be fair, Real Madrid have not been looking very good in the past few weeks, but it's Real Madrid, and they are a good team on their day. So we need to return and put in our best performance of the season in order to get by this Real Madrid team and win La Liga for a chance of doing somewhat good in the league, the Supercopa, and the Copa America. A domestic double, what most people say. I wouldn't mind it, but I feel like we did much better, but it is what it is. There's going to be some injuries in this match from both teams. I'm going to predict the starting 11 near the end of the video. And the score, which, spoiler alert, I do think Barcelona win this match. I think they're favorites on ESPN to win for a negative 100 for the bet, but bets are stupid and I don't pay attention to those. What matters is the performance on the field, and Barcelona need to put in a solid performance to get past this Madrid team. Now, yes, the main focus that I'm going to be talking about today is the defense. That defense against Inter Milan was a disaster, and nothing else can be said about that. It wasn't great, and we need improvements vastly on that position because we did not play very well in terms of defense, and our defense looked so unbelievably shocked that we cannot have this when we play against Real Madrid. When we play against Madrid, we're going to need to lock in defensively. Flick has to fix whatever's going on in the back, because if this defensive fragility continues, I don't think it's going to be doing any much better against Vinny, Mbappe, and Rodrigo. And they know how to break lines because we played against them 3 times already. The first 2 were thumpings, and then they managed to put on somewhat of a comeback. So by this point, I'm pretty sure they already know how to break the line semi-decently, but it's on Flick to fix that defense. I know we were going to be missing Jules Koundé again. Maybe Balde will be ready for this match. I'm not sure. He is coming back from injury, and you don't want to rush him back. If not, then he will get hurt even more. I'm not so sure if he's fit either, so I wouldn't start Balde in this match. I know there's many people who are going to start Balde. I don't want him getting hurt again. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If this guy gets hurt again, then we're going to have problems near the end of the season, since we still have a bunch of hard fixtures coming up in our close to win La Liga. So yeah, I wouldn't start him. I'd put Eric at that position, actually. Eric played very well for Jules Koundé whenever he came on, and he even scored a goal. So I'm not thinking that we start Balde or Koundé in this match. I think we start Eric Garcia, despite people being a little skeptical on him, but he's actually played very well at his position, at that right back position, and I generally think that he will do put in a good shift there whenever we play him there. So I would play him there. I don't think we change anything with the center backs. Kabarsi and Inigo, the best two center backs of Europe this season, minus Inters, because Inters are really good. In the midfields, Pedri, Frankie de Jong. Yeah, they have not gotten a single break, and I don't know how to feel about that, but we're just gonna have to see where it goes. I mean, I would start Frankie and Pedri because they're both the anchors of this team, man. They both carry that midfield. They break the lines, do the dirty work so that our forwards can get the ball, and for Lamine Yamal to get the ball as much as he could. So I wouldn't change the midfield at all. I hope none of them are injured. Up in the front, now there's going to be a bit of controversy and question marks in the front line. Of course, Lamine Yamal starts. That's obvious. Rafinha, obviously. The choice between Ferran or Lewandowski. That's a bit of a question mark because Ferran's been good, but Lewandowski's Lewandowski. I'm going to start Lewandowski. I feel like that last performance in Italy was not very good from Ferran Torres, and I feel like Lewandowski's back from injury, so we got to start the Pichichi runner. We got to start the guy who's leading the Pichichi, the guy who's racing Kylian Mbappe for the Pichichi. So we're going to start with, I'm going to put Lewandowski up in that front. And the middle. You could go with a bunch of people here, but I'm going to go with Dani Olmo. I feel like Dani Olmo hasn't had the best of few weeks at Barca, but I feel like he rises up in the big moments, and I do feel like he will be essential for us and that little bit of creativity up in the front line. I do think Real Madrid are going to start a very fragile defensive back line with players that are easy to dig into and are easy to pass in terms of how good the defense is and how many players are actually playing in their defensive positions. Ancelotti, for some reason, loves to do this. And he loves to put players outside of their positions and put them in positions they're not supposed to be in. But there's going to be a makeshift back line because Rudiger's suspended, obviously. I don't know about Lucas Vasquez, but yeah, I think he's also suspended. The only one who's not suspended from that whole kerfuffle at Arsenal is Jude Bellingham. So I'm going to predict Real Madrid starting 11 as well. We're going to get Courtois on goal. The classic back four of, I'm going to say Valverde gets moved to right back. Asensio, Tchouaméni, even though he doesn't play at center back. Fran Garcia, because Lucas is gone. The midfields, I'm going to go with Ceballos and Arda Güler. Ceballos, Güler, and Bellingham. And in the front line, I'll go with Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius, and Rodrigo. There's a possibility that Modric could be switched with Güler because Güler has been playing very well. I don't see why he'd switch those out. But yeah, we need to watch out for, again, that front line. The front line's very good for Madrid, but we got to make sure that offside trap works against Mbappe and Vinicius and Rodrigo and Bellingham when he comes up forward. What else? The midfield battle. You could say that Barcelona are the favorites in terms of that midfield battle because, like I said, they've got Dani Ceballos and Güler in that middle, and we've got Pedri and Frankie de Jong. But never underestimate, Dani Ceballos has been very good this season for Real Madrid, and Arda Güler is Arda Güler. So they do have Valverde in the back, but sometimes I have seen him drop into that midfield as well. And when Valverde's in midfield, stuff gets hard. So I do think we win the midfield battle. Pedri and De Jong, I think, have more ball control to outlast the midfield of Madrid. Oh my goodness. Jesus. The back line is what's concerning, because if we play like we did against Milan, I don't think we win this game. I think we at least draw or lose. But the thing is, Madrid aren't bringing on a good back line either. They're bringing on a makeshift back line that has midfielders, and I just do not see how Barcelona don't take advantage of this makeshift back line that Ancelotti has created with a bunch of midfielders and defenders. Rudiger's gone. Lucas is gone. They're pretty much starting defenders for Madrid, and I feel like if Barcelona don't take advantage of these two here, then we won't do very well. But I do see Barcelona winning this match. It's going to be a bit harder since this is Ancelotti's last Clásico with Real Madrid. Real Madrid are going to give in a little more pressure. I do feel like Jude Bellingham is going to be is going to be the key man for Madrid. Whether or not he can take the ball forward or go on the counterattack. The way he holds the ball does bring me a bit of nervousness, because in that last Clásico for the Copa del Rey, he played very well and carried the ball all throughout the midfield to support the attack. So we need to watch him. In terms of Barcelona, we just got to see where this goes. I do think we win, and I really don't want to jinx it, because I've always jinxed these games before, and my predictions for the Champions Leagues are looking shambolic right now. Europa League and Conference League are fine. I predicted those very well, but my Champions League predictions, oh boy. I'm going to have to review those after the final. And yeah, my prediction for this match, Barcelona 3, Real Madrid 1. No, that's going to be closer. Barcelona 3, Real Madrid 2. Yeah, just some good goals from Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, and then Mbappe and Vinicius score for Real Madrid. And then Eric Garcia scores for Barcelona. Gosh, I never thought I'd see myself predicting Eric Garcia to score for Barcelona against Madrid in the final El Clásico of the season. How the world works. So yeah, that'll be it for me today, guys. We need to win this game to win La Liga. That's just how it is, man. 2 clubs for the glory of the league. We'll see you guys all in the next one. Visca Barça. Bye-bye.